Welcome. Today, we light the flame of wisdom. Have you ever stopped to wonder if some of your daily habits are quietly holding you back? These small, routine actions might feel insignificant, but over time, they can drain your joy and limit your potential. Without realizing it, you could be carrying patterns that no longer serve you, holding you back from the happiness and fulfillment you deserve. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 habits you need to stop today if you want to unlock a happier, healthier, and more purposeful life. These habits may seem harmless at first glance, but they could be quietly stealing your energy, damaging your relationships, and keeping you from living fully. By addressing them, you'll take the first step toward reclaiming your joy and building a life that truly feels like your own. Pause for a moment and think about the habits in your own life. Are there things you do out of convenience or habit that don't align with who you want to be? Reflect on your routines and consider how they shape your days. This is about more than identifying problems, it's about empowering yourself to make intentional changes that can lead to lasting happiness. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you find value in the insights we're sharing today, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. Your support helps us create more content that inspires and uplifts, and we'd love to have you join our community. As we go through this, I invite you to share your thoughts. Which of these habits resonates most with your life? Share your insights in the comments section. Your voice matters, and your story could inspire someone else to make a meaningful change. Let's begin this journey together. It's time to uncover the habits that are holding you back and take the first steps toward a life that feels lighter, brighter, and more fulfilling. Self-awareness is one of the most powerful tools we have, yet it's often overlooked. Knowing ourselves, our thoughts, our actions, and the habits we've built over time, is the first step to living with purpose. Without awareness, we move through life on autopilot, reacting rather than deciding, following patterns rather than creating them. And these patterns? They have a way of shaping everything: how we feel, how we interact, and how we live. Have you ever thought about why you do the things you do? Do you make choices intentionally, or are they simply habits built over years of doing what feels easiest or most comfortable? This distinction is crucial. Intentional living means taking control, stepping back, and asking yourself, am I living the life I want, or the life I've fallen into? As Aristotle once said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. These words aren't just philosophical, they're practical. To know yourself is to understand your strengths and weaknesses, to see where you thrive and where you struggle. It's about recognizing the habits that lift you up and those that weigh you down. When you have this clarity, every decision becomes more aligned with the life you want to live. But here's the challenge: most of us rarely pause to reflect. We let routines guide our days, assuming that because they're familiar, they're right. The truth is, familiarity doesn't always mean value. Some habits may have served you in the past but now hold you back. Others might feel harmless but slowly drain your joy, energy, and confidence. Intentional living begins with a simple shift: the willingness to pause and reflect. It's about asking yourself, why am I doing this, and is this still serving me? These questions might seem small, but their answers are transformative. They allow you to take back control of your life and steer it in the direction you truly want. Take a moment now and think about your own life. Are there habits, routines, or choices that no longer align with who you are or who you want to be? This reflection isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. When you see clearly, you can act decisively. As you watch this video, I encourage you to think about which habits resonate with your life. Which ones feel familiar? Which ones might be silently holding you back? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your perspective matters, not just to you but to others who might feel the same. The key to happiness, especially in your senior year, isn't about adding more to your life. It's about removing what no longer fits. It's about clearing space for joy, purpose, and connection. And that starts with recognizing the habits that need to go. Let's begin this journey together. As we explore these 7 habits, remember, every small step you take towards self-awareness and intentional living brings you closer to the life you deserve. Habit number 1. Blindly agreeing with others. How often do you find yourself nodding in agreement, even when you don't truly agree? It's a simple gesture, one that seems harmless in the moment. But over time, this habit can chip away at your confidence, your authenticity, and even your sense of self. Think back to a time when you wanted to say no but said yes instead. Maybe it was an invitation you didn't want to accept, a request that stretched you too thin, or an opinion you didn't share but went along with anyway. How did it feel afterward? Did you feel lighter for avoiding conflict, or did it leave you with a lingering sense of frustration or regret? Blindly agreeing with others might feel like the path of least resistance, especially if you're someone who values peace and harmony. But here's the truth: every time you say yes when you mean no, you give away a small piece of yourself. You trade authenticity for comfort, and over time, it can leave you feeling invisible or unheard. There's another layer to this habit that's worth examining. When you prioritize agreement over honesty, you're sending a message, not just to others, but to yourself. You're saying that your voice, your thoughts, and your needs are less important than keeping the peace. This message might be subtle, but it's powerful, and it can erode your confidence without you even realizing it. So, how do you stop this habit? It starts with small, intentional changes. You don't have to overhaul your communication overnight. Begin in low-stakes situations, where the pressure to agree is minimal. For example, if someone asks for your opinion on something minor, take a moment to pause before responding. Practice saying what you truly think, even if it feels unfamiliar. Another useful strategy is to create space for yourself before agreeing to anything. Instead of saying yes right away, try responding with, "Let me think about it." This phrase gives you time to reflect and ensures that your decision comes from a place of clarity rather than pressure. It's a simple shift, but one that can have a profound impact on your ability to honor your own needs and boundaries. It's also helpful to reframe how you think about conflict. Disagreeing doesn't have to mean arguing or creating tension. It can be a way of expressing yourself honestly and building deeper, more authentic connections. When you share your true thoughts and feelings, you give others the opportunity to understand you better. If this habit feels deeply ingrained, remind yourself of this: your voice matters. Your thoughts and opinions are valuable, and they deserve to be heard. The next time you find yourself nodding along out of habit, pause. Ask yourself, is this how I truly feel? Or am I just going along to avoid conflict? Think of your confidence and self-worth as a seesaw. On one side is the desire to keep the peace, on the other is the need to honor yourself. When you blindly agree with others, the balance shifts, and your self-worth begins to tip downward. But when you start prioritizing your own voice, even in small ways, the seesaw starts to level out. What's one way you can start speaking up for yourself today? Take a moment to reflect on this question, and share your thoughts in the comments. Your experiences and insights could help someone else take their first step toward reclaiming their voice. This isn't about creating conflict or making every conversation a debate. It's about finding the courage to be honest with yourself and others. It's about recognizing that your thoughts and feelings are just as valid as anyone else's. Over time, these small shifts will add up. You'll notice a difference in how you feel about yourself and your relationships. You'll feel more confident, more authentic, and more in control of your own life. So, the next time you're faced with a decision, remember, your voice matters. Use it. Speak up, even if it's uncomfortable at first. With practice, it will become second nature, and you'll feel the weight of this habit start to lift. Habit number 2. Social isolation. Isolation often creeps in unnoticed. It doesn't happen all at once. At first, it might feel like skipping that gathering or staying home for the evening is just a temporary decision. But over time, those choices can become a pattern. And before you know it, you've pulled back from the world around you, leaving a gap in your life where connection and joy used to be. Human beings are wired for connection. We're social creatures, and being around others is more than just a preference, it's a basic need. Yet, in moments when life feels overwhelming or energy is running low, withdrawing can feel like the easiest option. But this habit of isolation can rob you of more than just good company. It can steal your happiness, your motivation, and even your health. Studies have shown that prolonged loneliness can have serious consequences. People who experience chronic isolation are at a greater risk of depression, heart disease, and even cognitive decline. Loneliness doesn't just affect how we feel, it affects how we function, both mentally and physically. The brain craves connection, and when that need isn't met, it impacts every part of our well-being. Think about your own life for a moment. When was the last time you truly connected with someone? Not just a quick text or a social media like, but a real conversation, a phone call, a coffee date, or even a walk with a friend. How did that connection make you feel? Chances are, it left you lighter, more energized, and even a little more hopeful. That's the power of human interaction. If you found yourself retreating, now is the time to take a step toward connection. It doesn't have to be complicated. Start small. Pick up the phone and call a friend or family member you haven't spoken to in a while. Let them know you've been thinking about them. You might be surprised at how much a simple conversation can brighten your day, and theirs. Another way to reconnect is to explore local clubs or groups that match your interests. Do you enjoy reading? Look for a book club. Love being outdoors? Join a walking group or a gardening club. If you prefer something low-key, consider online communities where you can meet people who share your hobbies. The opportunities are endless, and you don't have to go far to find them. Think of it this way, every interaction, no matter how small, adds value to your life. It's not about being surrounded by people all the time, it's about having meaningful moments of connection that enrich your days. These moments remind you that you're part of something larger, that you matter, and that your presence brings value to others. What's your favorite way to stay connected? Do you prefer meeting friends in person, joining groups, or using virtual calls to stay in touch? Share your answer in the comments below. Let's start a conversation that could inspire others to reconnect, too. And if reaching out feels intimidating, start with one small step. It might be as simple as sending a message, attending a local event, or even just making a plan to reconnect with an old friend. These small actions can lead to big changes, not only in your relationships but in how you feel about yourself and your place in the world. Don't let isolation quietly steal the joy from your life. The world is full of opportunities to connect, to share, and to grow. All it takes is one step toward the people around you. That step can make all the difference. Habit number 3. Neglecting physical health. It's never too late to take care of your body. No matter your age or how much time has passed, every small step you take today can drastically improve your tomorrow. The body is an incredible gift, one that supports you in everything you do. But like any gift, it requires care, attention, and respect to function at its best. Many people fall into the trap of thinking, what's the point? Maybe you've told yourself it's too late to make a difference, or that your age makes healthy habits less important. But nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, taking care of your physical health is one of the most powerful ways to improve your quality of life, not just today, but for years to come. Think about it. How do you feel after a short walk or a stretch? Even small movements can have a noticeable impact on your mood, your energy, and your outlook. And the best part? You don't need to overhaul your life to see results. The key is consistency. Start with small, manageable actions that fit into your daily routine. For example, take a 10-minute walk each morning. It doesn't have to be fast or far. Just enough to get your body moving and your blood flowing. You'll be amazed at how such a simple habit can improve your mobility, boost your mood, and even reduce your risk of certain health issues. Another small but impactful step is incorporating one healthy meal into your day. Swap out processed foods for whole, nutrient-rich options. Add more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains to your plate. Even small changes in your diet can provide your body with the energy and nutrients it needs to feel its best. Consistency is the secret. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Your body responds to the care you give it, no matter how small that care might seem. Over time, these small actions add up, creating a ripple effect that improves not just your physical health but your emotional well-being as well. And it's not just about movement and nutrition. Taking care of your health also means listening to your body. When was the last time you prioritized rest, hydration, or a routine checkup? These small acts of self-care send a powerful message that your well-being matters and is worth investing in. Let me ask you this. What's one small change you can make today for your health? Maybe it's adding a short stretch to your morning routine, or swapping a sugary snack for a piece of fruit. Whatever it is, share your commitment in the comments section. Your small step might inspire someone else to take one, too. Remember, health isn't about age, it's about consistency. It's about showing up for yourself, day after day, and honoring the body that has carried you through every moment of your life. It's about recognizing that it's never too late to start again, to make a change, or to choose a path that leads to greater strength, energy, and joy. Taking care of your physical health doesn't just improve how you feel today. It lays the foundation for a brighter, more active future. The better you care for your body now, the more freedom and vitality you'll have to enjoy the things that matter most, whether that's spending time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or simply waking up each day feeling your best. So start small. Start today. Whether it's a walk, a healthy meal, or a moment of rest, every action counts. And remember, the journey to better health isn't about being perfect. It's about taking one step at a time, with the knowledge that each step brings you closer to the life you deserve. Habit number 4. Living in the past. Think about the last time you revisited old memories. Maybe you were flipping through an old photo album or replaying a moment from years ago in your mind. The faces, the places, the laughter, it all feels warm and comforting, doesn't it? But here's the question: when those memories linger too long, do they inspire you or hold you back? Memories are powerful. They remind us of the paths we've walked, the lessons we've learned, and the joy we've experienced. But they also have a way of keeping us tied to the past, making it hard to fully embrace the present. Living in the past, no matter how sweet it may feel, can prevent us from seeing the opportunities that surround us today. When you focus too much on what was, you risk missing what is. The present is where life happens. It's where connections are made, where new experiences are born, and where joy truly lives. Clinging to the past can make it seem like your best days are behind you, but the truth is, your best days are the ones you create now. If you've ever caught yourself thinking, "Those were the good old days," ask yourself this: what's stopping you from making today just as meaningful? Life is full of seasons, each with its own beauty and purpose. The memories you cherish from the past were once part of your present. And right now, you have the power to create new moments that will one day become cherished memories, too. So how do you stop living in the past and start embracing the present? It begins with small, intentional steps. One of the best ways to reconnect with the here and now is to try something new. Is there an activity you've always been curious about? Maybe it's gardening, painting, learning a musical instrument, or even joining a local class. Trying new things brings excitement into your life and reminds you that there's still so much left to explore and enjoy. Another way to shift your focus is to set small, meaningful goals for the future. These don't have to be monumental goals, they just need to be something that excites you. Maybe it's planning a weekend getaway, starting a new book, or committing to walking in the park every morning. Goals give you a reason to look forward and create a sense of purpose. Remember, the past is a chapter in your story, not the whole book. It's okay to visit those chapters, to hold on to the lessons and the love, but don't let them stop you from writing the rest of your story. The present is all we truly have, and it's filled with opportunities to create joy, connection, and fulfillment. Here's a challenge for you. What's one thing you're looking forward to this month? Is it a project, an event, or even something as simple as a quiet day to yourself? Share it in the comments section. Let's inspire each other to focus on the possibilities that lie ahead. Living in the past is easy, but embracing the present is where true happiness begins. Shift your perspective, take a step towards something new, and let today be the day you create a memory worth cherishing. Habit number 5. Over-sacrificing for others. Sacrificing for others often feels like the right thing to do. Whether it's putting your family's needs ahead of your own or going out of your way to help friends, it can feel noble, even necessary. But there's a fine line between healthy giving and over-sacrificing. When you constantly prioritize others at the expense of your own well-being, it can leave you feeling drained, unappreciated, and even resentful. Think about it. How many times have you said yes when you wanted to say no? How often have you put your needs on hold because someone else's seemed? Not just doing yourself a disservice, you're also limiting what you can give. Taking care of your own well-being allows you to give from a place of fullness, not exhaustion. So how do you break the cycle of over-sacrificing? The first step is learning to set boundaries. Boundaries aren't about being selfish, they're about being clear about what you can and cannot do. Start small. Practice saying no without guilt. If someone asks you to take on more than you can handle, it's okay to politely decline. A simple, "I'd love to help, but I can't take that on right now," is enough. Another important step is carving out time for yourself. Make it a priority to schedule at least 1 hour a day just for you. This could be time spent reading, exercising, meditating, or doing something you love. The key is to treat this time as non-negotiable. It's not something you squeeze in if you have time, it's something you protect because it matters. When you start setting boundaries and prioritizing self-care, you may feel a sense of guilt at first. That's normal. Society often teaches us to equate selflessness with goodness, but the reality is, caring for yourself is one of the most selfless things you can do. When you're well-rested, healthy, and fulfilled, you're better equipped to show up for the people you love. It's also important to recognize when your sacrifices are being taken for granted. Over time, people may start to expect your constant availability and willingness to help. This isn't because they don't care about you, but because they've grown accustomed to your patterns. By setting boundaries, you're not only protecting yourself, you're also teaching others to respect your time and energy. Let me ask you this, what's one thing you can do for yourself this week? Maybe it's setting aside an hour for a hobby you enjoy, or saying no to something that doesn't serve you. Whatever it is, share it in the comments below. Your commitment to yourself could inspire someone else to make a change in their own life. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish, it's essential. You deserve to feel happy, fulfilled, and valued, not just by others, but by yourself. Break the cycle of over-sacrificing and start treating your happiness as a priority. When you do, you'll find that you have more energy, more joy, and more to give to the people who matter most. Habit number 6, ignoring limits. Acknowledging your limits isn't a sign of weakness, it's a profound act of wisdom. In fact, knowing your boundaries, whether physical or emotional, is one of the most empowering decisions you can make. It's not about giving up or admitting defeat. It's about honoring the reality of where you are, respecting what your body and mind are telling you, and focusing your energy on what truly matters. Many of us have been taught that pushing through exhaustion or discomfort shows strength. Perhaps you've heard the phrases, no pain, no gain, or, you just need to power through. While perseverance has its place, there's a difference between resilience and ignoring the signals your body is sending. When you constantly override those signals, you're not showing strength, you're putting yourself at risk of burnout, injury, or even more serious health issues. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you paused and truly listened to your body? Maybe you felt a twinge of pain but kept working through it. Perhaps you noticed yourself feeling emotionally drained but pushed forward without rest. How did that decision impact you in the long run? The truth is, ignoring your limits doesn't just affect your body, it affects your mind, your relationships, and your overall quality of life. It can leave you feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, and even disconnected from the things and people you care about most. But when you acknowledge your limits, you give yourself permission to rest, to heal, and to focus on what's most important. So how can you start honoring your limits today? First, practice asking for help when you need it. There's no shame in leaning on others for support. Whether it's asking a family member to assist with a task or reaching out to a friend for emotional support, seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. It shows that you value yourself enough to recognize when you can't do it all alone. Second, learn to rest without guilt. Rest isn't laziness, it's essential. It's the time your body and mind need to recharge, to process, and to prepare for the challenges ahead. If you've been pushing yourself to the point of exhaustion, it's time to take a step back. Set aside moments in your day to simply breathe, relax, and be. Whether it's sitting in a quiet space, enjoying a book, or taking a nap, let yourself rest without feeling guilty about what you should be doing. Strength lies in knowing when to pause. It's in recognizing that you're human, not a machine. Your worth isn't measured by how much you can do or how hard you can push. It's measured by your ability to care for yourself and honor the incredible life you've been given. Take a moment now to think about where you might be pushing too hard. Is it in your work, your relationships, or even your expectations of yourself? Reflect on one way you can start respecting your limits today, and share it in the comments below. Your insight could inspire someone else to do the same. By honoring your limits, you're not giving up, you're stepping into a deeper sense of strength and balance. You're creating space for what truly matters, and you're giving yourself the gift of a healthier, happier life. Habit number 7. Avoiding intimacy. Contrary to what some may believe, intimacy doesn't have an expiration date. It's not something reserved for a specific stage of life or a younger version of yourself. Intimacy, both physical and emotional, is a vital part of human connection and well-being, no matter your age. Unfortunately, many people shy away from intimacy as they grow older. Perhaps it's due to societal expectations, physical changes, or even a fear of vulnerability. But the truth is, intimacy can be just as fulfilling in your later years as it was in your youth, if not more so. It's about connection, trust, and the shared moments that remind us we're not alone in this world. Let's address a common misconception: intimacy isn't just about physical touch. It's about the emotional closeness that comes from being seen, heard, and valued by another person. It's in the quiet conversations, the shared laughter, and the small gestures of affection that build and strengthen bonds. If you've been avoiding intimacy, it's worth asking yourself why. Are you holding back because of fear, discomfort, or uncertainty? Whatever the reason, know this: intimacy is a gift, and it's never too late to embrace it. The first step to reigniting intimacy is communication. Talk openly with your partner about your feelings, your desires, and even your fears. Vulnerability can feel daunting, but it's the foundation of true connection. When you share your thoughts honestly, you create a space for understanding, trust, and deeper closeness. Next, explore new ways to connect emotionally. Intimacy isn't about doing things the way you always have, it's about finding what works for you now. Maybe it's spending quality time together, writing a heartfelt note, or simply holding hands while watching a favorite movie. Small acts of connection can go a long way in building and maintaining intimacy. It's also important to acknowledge and embrace the physical changes that come with age. These changes don't diminish your ability to experience intimacy, they simply invite you to adapt. Focus on what feels comfortable and fulfilling for you and your partner. Intimacy doesn't have to look the same as it did years ago to be meaningful. Did you know that intimacy has tangible health benefits? Studies show that it can improve mood, reduce stress, and even boost your immune system. These aren't just side effects, they're reminders of how deeply connected our emotional and physical well-being truly are. Think of intimacy as a bridge, a way to connect not just with another person, but with yourself. It reminds you that you're worthy of love, connection, and joy, no matter your age. Here's something to consider. What's one way you can nurture intimacy in your life this week? Maybe it's having an open conversation with your partner, reaching out to someone you care about, or simply taking a moment to appreciate the connections you already have. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's start a conversation about the importance of staying connected, no matter where we are in life. Avoiding intimacy doesn't protect you, it isolates you. It keeps you from experiencing the fullness of connection that life has to offer. By embracing intimacy, you're not just nurturing your relationships, you're nurturing yourself. Take this as a reminder that intimacy isn't bound by age. It's a lifelong source of joy, comfort, and connection. Let go of the fears or doubts that hold you back, and step into the richness of human connection. You deserve it. Let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've explored today. These 7 habits might seem small, even inconsequential, but the truth is, they carry immense weight in shaping your happiness, health, and overall quality of life. By stopping these behaviors, you open the door to profound changes, changes that empower you to live with greater purpose, connection, and joy. Think about the lessons we've discussed. Blindly agreeing with others can rob you of your voice and confidence. Social isolation quietly steals your joy and health. Neglecting your physical well-being makes the journey ahead harder than it needs to be. Living in the past holds you back from fully embracing the present. Over-sacrificing for others can leave you feeling drained and undervalued. Ignoring your limits pushes you toward burnout. And avoiding intimacy denies you one of life's most beautiful gifts, the chance to connect deeply with another person. Each habit may seem familiar, even comfortable, but they don't define you. You have the power to break free, to choose new paths that serve your growth and happiness. The key is to start with intention. Choose one habit, one area of your life, and take the first step toward positive change. That one step, no matter how small, can ripple into something far greater. Take a look at the screen, where we've summarized the 7 habits we've discussed today. Let the calming visuals remind you that change doesn't have to be rushed or overwhelming. It's about progress, not perfection. Whether it's reconnecting with a friend, taking a short walk, or setting a boundary, each small step matters. Now, I have a question for you. Which habit will you stop today? What's one small change you're ready to make in your life? Let us know in the comments below. Your insight could spark inspiration for someone else, and together, we can create a community rooted in growth and support. Before you go, don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that inspires and uplifts. By subscribing, you'll never miss the wisdom we share to help light your way. As we close, let me leave you with this: change is always possible, no matter your age or circumstances. The smallest steps can lead to the brightest transformations. You deserve happiness, connection, and fulfillment, and it's never too late to claim them for yourself. Thank you for being here today, for investing in your growth, and for taking these lessons to heart. May your wisdom grow brighter with every step. Until next time.